So, today we're diving into the story of how one kid's absolute fury over a poisoned planet helped kickstart a global movement. It's a story that proves, the most powerful weapons aren't always complicated. Sometimes, all it takes is a toy megaphone and a will that just won't break. I mean, this phrase really says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this huge conflict we're looking at. You've got the innocence of a child up against this massive, suffocating problem. It's a feeling a whole generation can relate to. So you have to wonder, just how young was this kid when she decided, okay, I'm taking on the world?
6. No, that is not a typo. At just 6 years old, when most of us were figuring out playground politics, Licypriya Kangujam started her protest. But the really wild part isn't just her age, it's how she got started.
Just try to picture this for a second. You've got this massive, imposing government building, traffic rushing past, and then there's this one tiny little figure holding a protest sign she drew herself. She wasn't with some big, fancy organization. Nope. She was just a kid who decided she'd seen enough.
So what on earth could possibly push a 6-year-old to do something so extraordinary? Let's get into the personal experiences that really lit the fire for this incredible story.
See, growing up in Manipur, India, Licypriya's entire world just changed right in front of her. On the left, that's the world she was born into. But that world was disappearing, replaced by what you see on the right, a reality of factory pollution and wildfires that literally turned the air toxic. She was coughing her way through playtime. And all of that led to this incredibly powerful realization when she was just 8. It was a moment of pure clarity for her. She saw her forest burning and just thought, well, if the grown-ups aren't going to fix the world they broke, then I guess it's up to us kids to do it. And this wasn't just some passing thought. By the time she was 9, she made it official. She founded the Child Movement. And the most important part is right there in the description. It was India's first child-led climate group. This wasn't adults feeding kids their lines. This was kids grabbing the microphone for themselves. So, how does a single protest by one little kid build into a global firestorm? How does one voice, a kid's voice, actually get heard all around the world? Well, let's take a look. The speed of this is just mind-blowing. Think about it. In early 2019, she's standing all by herself outside Parliament. By the end of that exact same year, she's the youngest person to ever speak at the UN Climate Summit in Madrid. And after that, her message just explodes, reaching 32 nations through her activism and a whole bunch of TEDx talks. And believe me, when she got that UN platform, she did not hold back. This was her message, direct and totally unfiltered, to all the world leaders in the room. She wasn't politely asking for change, she was demanding it, with this kind of moral clarity that's just impossible to ignore. But this movement was about so much more than just making headlines. Her campaigns led to real, concrete wins. She successfully pushed to cut down on plastic pollution around a world wonder, the Taj Mahal. She actually forced schools in her region to change their curriculum and start teaching about climate change. And yeah, she helped inspire literally millions of other kids to hit the streets for climate strikes. That is real-world impact. So her story isn't just about what she's already done. It's about the legacy she's building right now and how she's basically empowering this whole next wave of young activists. And this, right here, is her core message to other young people. It's such an empowering idea, isn't it? That authentic, loud voice you have on the playground, that's the exact voice you need to demand change. She's basically telling them, don't wait for permission. And she breaks that whole philosophy down into this really simple, actionable guide. She's showing everyone that big change can start with small, focused actions. It's a direct challenge. If you see a problem, start a group, make some noise. Because as she sees it, even one kid who refuses to be ignored can build enough momentum to, eventually, flip governments. And if you want to understand her level of commitment, just look at this number. At just 10 years old, Licypriya dropped out of school. She decided to dedicate herself full-time to this fight. She figured that saving the actual planet was a more urgent education than anything she could get inside a classroom. Okay, so this brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial part of her story. It's an incredible example for sure, but what does it mean for the rest of us? What's the big takeaway here? We all ask this question, right? When we're staring down these huge, overwhelming problems, it is so easy to feel powerless. But Licypriya's story, it gives us a totally different answer, and it starts small. Seriously, it can be this simple. In the world we live in, a single post can raise awareness. It can connect you with thousands of other people who feel the exact same way. It's really the modern version of her first hand-drawn protest sign.
Or, it can be about collective action, getting organized with your friends, your classmates, showing up in numbers, and proving that you're all united in demanding a better future. It's a disruption that forces the people in charge to actually stop and listen.
Or, hey, it can be something totally tangible and direct, a single act of healing the planet, right there in your own community. Every action, no matter how big or small it feels, is a start. In the end, Licypriya's entire story started with some crayons and a simple message on a piece of cardboard. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. If you were going to make your own stand, what's the one thing you'd champion? What would you write on your sign?